Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. I just wanted to come on and give you a really quick update because I'm super excited. There was this amazing roundtable done. I'm going to get into that in a second. I'm going to give you guys a link to in the description box to go watch this. I think it's about an hour and a half, somewhere in there. Charles Ward was in there, and he's been the one who's been he did the interview with the king that I told you about. If you don't know who Charlie Ward is, I'll put his YouTube channel down in the description box as well. But he did confirm that the Pope is on house arrest. So I know that's going to be shocking to a lot of people because they don't want to believe that. But, you know, we've also heard that there was over 300 people, 350 people or 300 people, somewhere in there, that were arrested from Italy. Anyway, that's all speculation until that comes out as fact. But Charles Ward was also confirming that the royals are done. They're like sequestered somewhere, so more than likely they're never going to see a day of jail in their life. But um, they they're still sequestered. So house arrest, sequestered, whatever. They're probably just going to never be seen again. Um, he's currently investigating Gregory Hallett, who will be King John III. He has a camera crew right now doing interviews and investigations, and following through thoroughly for like 10 days, so that this will all be coming to light with the title Vicar of Christ, which was the one the Pope used to have. So he's claiming those. He did those with parse syntax, grammar mechanisms with the postal stamps and all of that. I got into that in one of my last videos, so you can check that if you want. But so he also confirmed that that investigation is ongoing. So if you subscribe to Charlie Ward's YouTube channel and hit the bell for notifications, you'll know when those videos come out. So this is so exciting, you guys. Feel it in your heart. Feel what is truth. Just know this is happening. These things, we have been waiting so long. All right, look, I'm not. All right, let me get back to it. Okay, so the ships, Mercy and Comfort, were indeed for the rescued children. The many are all in house arrest already, which we know. GESARA is happening, and Charlie was saying by July 1st is what his mate was telling him. Personally, I think they have until July 6th to announce it, because the 6th is 120 days out from when the elections would be. And under GESARA law, if you follow and the new election needs to be held for the government within 120 days from the election period. So that takes us back to July 6th. So he thinks we'll be publicly hearing about GESARA, which is global, by July 1st. But look, we've got Trump. He also said Trump was toying with them right now because he's in total control. And there's about 8,000 people worldwide who have been in on this military op. And it has been a military operation. And it does go back to Kennedy. And when Kennedy was shot, when Kennedy was assassinated, he promised John that that they would make it right, and they would get the bastards that killed his father. And that's apparently a very true promise. Now, Kennedy was also buried in an area that looks like the letter Q. And so this is all, when you watch the discussion, they show you the pictures and stuff in the discussion. They flash it in. So I don't know if I'll have time to edit this. I'm just telling you, which you probably already know. And if you don't know, you will see if you go and watch that roundtable. It's pretty cool. They did talk about whether JFK Jr. was alive or not. And of course, wouldn't that be something? And we've said this before. So, okay, they were talking about whether or not Trump would win the election. And his buddy told him, who's in the know, said he doesn't need to run. He's not going to need to run. Because I guess things will be pretty well cleaned up by then. We'll have the mass arrest. We'll have what we need. I'm saying the mass arrest. They didn't talk about it. Yes, there could be a bunch of people on house arrest already, but there's still criminals out there, and it still needs to happen in a very, very public way, so we can all finally get on the same page. And these mass arrests, I still think it's going to happen like in the next 3 weeks because they can't announce GESARA till they get the criminals out of the way. So I think we're in for like the end part here, the light that's at the end of the tunnel, and it's so exciting. It's like every cell of my body knows now this time is it. This is it. We've been waiting so long. We've said this is it. This is it. We've got a lot of false signals because look, there's been optics, military operations, strategy, chess, all of that. You cannot tell your opponent what you're doing, and you do need misdirection so that you can catch the bad guys and let them self-identify. So this has been an ongoing thing. So Trump will not need to run for an election, but if he decided he wanted to, that he absolutely would be elected because of, I guess, everybody's going to know what's going on and what he's actually done and the lies that have been against him. So I don't know if I see him running again. I guess it depends on who surfaces to be say, I want to be the leader and whatever. I guess we'll find out. Also, I think I mentioned the Fed was done, that it's been absorbed into the Treasury. If anybody got a check for their stimulus, you'll see it was printed from the Treasury, not the Fed. Fed is bankrupt. He bankrupted them. Woohoo! You know how long? I was in the Ron Paul campaign back when. And the Ron Paul campaign, Ron Paul was trying to do what Kennedy tried to do. And Ron Paul got, I think we'll all find out the truth about what really happened to him, but Ron Paul was not bought and paid for. And I highly respected him, but that's when I first became actively involved in politics. And he was, he was ignored by the press and just, okay, so I'll go off on a whole diatribe if I go on that. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know one other announcement here. So you probably know, if you follow me, that I wrote a book, published a book from some of my writings I've done in my previous blog and some of my current writings, and excuse me, put them all together and published a book last year. And so I decided just to take it off the shelf, and I had started to read it after I got it, just to reread my work again. And I found some typos, and I was kind of mad at myself and everything. So I don't heavily promote it. I think I made an announcement when I first got it because I was excited, but then when I found the typos, I was like, oh no. However, this week I was guided to pick up the book and read it again. And it's not that long of a read. It really isn't. It's like 110 pages. And, oh, it does have it on there. Okay, I thought it didn't have the printing date. It was April 25th of 2019. Wow, okay, so that is it's in the back. Usually that's in the front. Anyway, I reread this, and it was almost like, who wrote that? Was that me? Like, I didn't write that. I guess I kind of forget that I automatically, when I write, I just channel. And in here, in this book, what I'm going to do is, it's for $14.44 on Amazon. That's my number, And it's cheaper on Kindle if you get it that way. But I think what I'm going to do is order like a bulk of these and then sell them through my website, maybe. I haven't done that yet, but if you order this now, you will have, see all the pages for the typos? I labeled it for myself. I need to go in and fix that. So if you want one of these, it's highly, highly relevant, yeah, to today's time. But what it is, it's common sense, spirituality, and self-empowerment. And it talks about how it's a teaching on how you can learn how to discern which is your thought or not, how you can connect with your inner source, how you can get the thoughts out of your head, and how, what does that mean? What does it mean to be multidimensional and living in this world? And I use a lot of analogies because that's the way I roll. And you guys, this book is, I hate promoting myself, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm not promoting myself. I want to share this information with you guys. I want you to have this because, you're already developing, you already know what's going on. You just might need like one thing in here that can help. It talks about how this is the analogy of making it like a game, and how you develop, like, lessons are repeated till they're learned. And when you learn a certain lesson, it's like you collect a little badge. And yes, pains and wounds and scars are like little badges. And they can be likened to knowledge. And as your knowledge goes along, it's great. You have your knowledge, but how do you level up? It's like that knowledge has to convert into wisdom. And I've been trying to convey this point for a long time to people whenever I talk to them. Is just because you have knowledge, like knowledge is knowing what to say, but wisdom is knowing whether or not to say it. Knowing whether or not to knee-jerk with an emotional response. Wisdom is either action or non-action, but it's not reaction. And so I've been trying to get this point across to people, and I talk about this in the book. I talk about how you level up, and I liken it to there's many analogies in here. And if any of you guys have actually read this and got something out of it, please leave something in there. I mean, you might not want to promote it because there's a lot of typos, but I'm telling you, I'm going to fix that if I figure it out. I just don't want to have to like type the whole thing out because I think I lost I don't know. It's on Amazon and I'm doing all this myself. You know what I mean? So, you guys, I love you. Things are coming fast and furious. We are at the end. We literally are at the end. So if we get to the middle of July and we still don't know anything, then shame on me for even putting this out there. And I probably won't even want to make another video after that if that's the case. We will see what happens. But I feel it. I know it's coming. There's good coming. Just hang in there. Stay centered. Stay balanced. Stay in the sacred, neutral middle ground. That's where you need to be. Use your wisdom to be in the middle ground. I love you, and I will see you next time.